just to talk about this movie that we just watched called
The Good Boy.
The Good Boy. Not Good Boy. The Good Boy. 2026. So, surprisingly, really good.
Why surprisingly?
I don't know. I didn't have any expectations from it. I just like, okay, what is this? Let me just read it. Tommy, a volatile 19-year-old,
Revels in drugs, parties, and violence. After getting separated from his friends on a drunken bender, he is abducted by a shadowy figure. He wakes to find himself imprisoned in the basement.
So, yeah.
Not to mistaken it for the other Good Boy movies.
Yeah, the horror Good Boy movie with the dog. No, that's not the one. What's his name? Graham. What's his name?
Stephen Graham.
Stephen Graham, the guy who just won an Emmy.
Did he?
Emmy for Adolescence.
Wait, baby, I have a sidebar. You know the kid in Adolescence?
What's his name? Cooper.
Oh yeah, he's the young Jacob Elordi in Wuthering Heights.
Oh, yeah, he does look like him.
Yeah?
I mean, a little bit, yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Anyway, what do you think about it? What do you think about the movie? This is like I feel like it's so much deeper than what we think. I don't think it's about abduction and just loneliness and stuff like that. It's like what you said. It's a combination of Stockholm syndrome, wherein somebody who's kidnapped starts to have affiliation or sympathy, empathy towards the abductor or the kidnapper, which is a phenomenon that happens within us humans. We kind of immediately forget all the horrible things that they've done to us. We immediately start seeing their humanity.
Why and when?
So
when?
When somebody
when do we start? When do we start seeing the humanity in our abductor?
If you have Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah, what my point is, when does the transition happen? What do you realize maybe that the abductor has given you or not given you versus your old life that you've started embracing this new one?
I think the moment you start, the abductor starts showing one or two qualities that are good, human, caring, kind, you kind of immediately forget everything that's horrible about that person. Somehow.
Okay, but I think when you see not particularly the kindness in an abductor, but you see something that you needed outside of that imprisonment. So he led a nilly-willy life, doing drugs. He's basically a kid because he doesn't get the care at home. And now that he's introduced to that kind of life, at first he was struggling, and then he later on realized the comparison, right, between this life and his old life. The fact that his own mother didn't even report him missing, versus how this other mother showed him love, taught him how to read books, taught him how to make him feel safe, that he can talk about these books.
To live with his feelings. Explore his intellectual curiosity, which was kind of trampled upon all his life. He doesn't even know how to read. He doesn't know how to think. All he has is one emotion, which is anger.
Yeah, just the fact that they talked to him. And they let him, especially during that scene when he requested her to ask about something about the book, and then she said, okay, she was kind of insinuating, okay, what about your life? We can talk about it too. Your feelings, we can talk about it too. So now he has an avenue to actually process his emotions and his experiences rather than letting alcohol and drugs and
bullying and
anger take over him. Because everything else was escapism, whatever, right? The drugs, the bullying, and everything. That's how they made it seem to him.
Yeah.
Which is, I don't know, let's say it's true. Maybe, yeah, it's true. But now he knows another means of
expression
dealing with that. Yeah.
The first half of the movie, I drew clear resemblances to the infamous classic movie called Clockwork Orange.
Do you think I could play with Tommy soon?
Maybe not just yet. I know it may look unconventional. Believe me, we won't be keeping him there for long. Tommy's going through a rebellious phase.
I'm gonna obliterate you the second I get out of here!
It's quite impressive, really, how you've managed to aimlessly float through your whole life completely unnoticed.
You're scared, aren't you?
And do you think all of this is funny? This is real life.
You're already dead, you scum!
We treat each other with respect. Bad boy! Bad boy! Bad boy! Bad boy! Bad boy!
I would like to apologise for what I did to you. I promise not to do it again.
Good boy.
Fear always brings self-destruction. Open your mind and invite progress.
I think it's time.
Progress.
See it as a sign of our trust in you and the progress you've made. Which is better, blissful stupor or dealing with sober reality?
Life's sick sometimes. It's your only chance to get out your head. I know someone else used to live here. What did you do to him?
I'm so proud of you, son. You protected this family today.
You're not my family. This isn't real.
Tommy, we're not psychopaths.
Iceberg Slim is the name that is synonymous with the pimp game and wrote books that I grew up on.
Runs the ladies, has the clothes, the jewelry.
A lot of people think that pimps are dummies. That's not true. They're just perverted.
Pimp had a big impact on the game. To give basic instructions of how to play the game. It was just fascinating.
He really laid out how flamboyant and how fly this lifestyle can be.
Was held in regard like an athlete or entertainer. It's a tough sport.
In this book, I will take you, the reader, with me into the secret inner world of the pimp.
Our guest masquerades under the name of Iceberg Slim. He continues to hide his identity.
His books tell the truth about the life.
Pimp was the first real black experience put into a book.
Yeah, I checked it out. The P.I.M.P.
Slim's writing is so vivid, he makes it all inescapable.
He was incarcerated in Leavenworth.
No more small towns for me. I was going to the city to get my degree in pimping.
He really tells you where this pimp is from and what has made this pimp.
He was more or less like a hero.
He wanted that thrill of controlling a stable of women. What you do literally is play God. I haven't changed.
Do you think I could play with Tommy soon?
Maybe not just yet. I know it may look unconventional. Believe me, we won't be keeping him there for long. Tommy's going through a rebellious phase.
I'm gonna obliterate you the second I get out of here!
It's quite impressive, really, how you've managed to aimlessly float through your whole life completely unnoticed.
You're scared, aren't you?
And do you think all of this is funny? This is real life.
You're already dead, you scum!
We treat each other with respect. Bad boy! Bad boy! Bad boy! Bad boy! Bad boy!
I would like to apologise for what I did to you. I promise not to do it again.
Good boy.
Fear always brings self-destruction. Open open your mind and invite progress.
I think it's time. See it as a sign of our trust in you and the progress you've made. Which is better, blissful stupor or dealing with sober reality?
Life's sick sometimes. It's your only chance to get out your head. I know someone else used to live here. What did you do to him?
I'm so proud of you, son. You protected this family today.
You're not my family. This isn't real.
Tommy, we're not psychopaths.
A Clockwork Orange, which is also based on a book. It's a really old movie, 50 years old or something like that.
Old.
I think so. It was like Stanley Kubrick's time. He's the one who made the movie, in which the main character, his name is Alex, I think. He is just this defiant teenager, just absolutely crazy, filled with violence and rage, has no other feelings. He goes around terrorizing people. He breaks into people's houses. He commits acts of horror and crime, beats people up violently. He also commits a lot of explicit sexual crimes. And then it's basically this, that's just who he is at the core. And there's no refuge for him, but there's this government program where he's taken in, and then they try to rehabilitate him in these weird ways. They try to indoctrinate him with nicer, better ideas, with hope that he will change. And he does tend to change, but towards the end there's a bit of an open-ended sequence where we don't really know if he was really able to change or pretending the whole time. Anyway, I'm 100% sure that whoever wrote this movie has drawn parallels clearly from A Clockwork Orange, but given its own spin, or maybe it's even an homage to that. And so, yeah, like a band, like chaining somebody in the basement.
Okay. To write on that, whether about the government's program or the way this family did it, we don't know the background of the family. Maybe their son killed himself or whatnot. Is it objectively right to abduct someone even if the end point is, having a family and changing that boy's life?
No, of course not.
But we like the ending.
We like the ending because it's a movie and it's like trying to show something through art, but of course it's not okay to abduct somebody to teach them a lesson.
I know, but isn't it sad that the only way to
get to this person is to first...
Yeah, but it's mutualism. He benefited equally as they did because they wanted a family. He kind of made them a bit more normal for the wife, for the kid, for him, while at the same time actually giving more meaning to his life.
Sure, I think the idea here is not to obviously justify what they did or who they are. I think the idea is, in my estimation, is to show how a vulnerable person like the main character, who is young and has clearly suffered from parental neglect growing up, has very less self-worth, no father figure, mother's horrible, right, doesn't really care about him. He goes into this life of violence and partying and drugs and all of that. And then he would accept anything. Anybody who would show him a little bit of love, connection, he would accept anything, even if it means somebody trampled on his rights, beat him violently, put him in a basement, chained him like a dog, and eventually there's still nowhere for him to go but to come back to that, for that little bit of love and belonging at home.
Okay, but
let me finish this. I just remember something. Okay, you finish, then I'll tell you.
Okay, so, but didn't he also give up something to deserve that love? Because I forgot what scene happened that they gave him a bathroom, then they moved him upstairs, then they gave him a room, then they celebrated his birthday. But the initial trigger point, the change point was, I don't know, did he have to behave well at first and then he got that kind of a carrot and stick situation?
Yeah, they clearly know what they're doing. It's kind of like, okay, this is going to happen in stages.
To
We're gonna
establish
put
a
him down
structure.
first, clearly, and get all of the violence out. Let him know that that's it. There's no going around working around the situation.
Mhm.
And then maybe he starts reading a little bit, calming himself down, gets used to living in one place, gets all of the anger out. Now he's okay to have a room. Then he's okay to be in the house. And now he's okay to be a functioning member of society. He is truly, what do you call the people in jail when they rehabilitated? That, I think, was the idea. But yeah, like my take on this is it's trying to show how people who are vulnerable can long so much for love and belonging that they would even accept the perpetrators to be their friend and go back to that life. Okay, so what I was trying to tell you, there's like a lot of psychological research behind how people choose to be with those people in a relationship the way their parents were or their father was. Like a woman, if a girl's father was abusive or distant
Is
and
most
cold,
likely to be in a toxic
she
relationship.
she craves a toxic relationship because this is what she thinks
Pattern,
is normal.
some pattern
and,
recognition.
and she wants to go back to how she was, I guess, treated, and then and they self-sabotage a lot of times. If they have a good relationship, they'll sabotage that
Because of familiarity.
because they have familiarity and she feels something's missing. She feels like she's in a different environment. This is not the right place for her. Likewise, I think for boys, what is it for boys? Like a mother that is aloof or doesn't treat them well, then they'll also be with like that kind of a girl, something like that. Like in a lot of situations. So that's one parallel that I can draw. Right.
Something later.
Parallel that I can draw. There's another parallel that I can draw is that there's a book, very popular book. I forget the name of the book. It's written by a pimp.
Okay.
The person used to be a pimp. And the book talks about how he was able to control all of these girls
Mhm.
and what lessons people can draw from that.
Mhm.
So he said the way he would control of the girls or run his business, successful business, is if a girl that is under him would do something wrong, say like, I don't know, try to run away or doesn't listen to him or something like that, he would beat her vehemently. Beat her, be angry at her, really abuse her.
Mhm.
And then, like a day later, he would suddenly show her so much affection. He will love bomb her. He will like be everything for her. So it is that parity, the hot and the cold, the love and the hate, the toxicity and the positivity, the belongingness and the aloofness that creates this, this a positive negative charge kind of a thing. This absence of dopamine and presence of dopamine that you're constantly craving for stuff to happen. So you get so attached to this person that you can never leave after that. You can never leave.
Okay,
So
at first I think why would somebody let that person publish this kind of book? It's very self-centered and exploitative
It's
and
US.
whatever.
It's
I
freedom
know,
of
but
expression,
then I also kind of felt that these are the materials that can expand your awareness, especially for people who grew up in this kind of situation. Do they get some education that this is being done to you? So now you kind of know how to deal with it or even get away from it. Because even for the kid, there's probably a love letter to culture and learnedness that she's pushing him to read books. He's learning new words. He's trying to also expand his mind by analyzing some analogy between the characters in the book and him. She started with, oh, he also has tattoo like you. So to make him feel that this is something you can learn on because this can mimic some experiences in your life or some parts of your character. So she introduced him to the world of whatever knowledge. And maybe that's also kind of telling that if you know, then you would be able to get out of this. So it more than the abduction and whatnot, it also gives you kind of like a good solution to the people who are in some kind of imprisoned situation in their life.
So you're saying
that
he's anyways in pain and misery in a horrible circumstance. What difference does it make if somebody forcefully puts him in a different circumstance, even though it's kind of the end justifies the means kind of a thing? But what's the difference? He just doesn't realize that his life is screwed right now anyway. So like screw it a little bit more for another couple of months, but let him come out a better person. Now, obviously,
Yeah.
this is not
but,
some sort
no,
of
but
a,
I'm talking about more in terms of why they're pushing him to read more books. So it's telling the reader.
I think he never had the development that a normal 16-year-old is supposed to go through.
I
And
know,
they just
but
want him to raise him as a regular boy who reads and understands the popular culture of the world, the books that shape every 16-year-old's life. Kind of like
I know, but
I
my point was, I think the director also has some kind of, it's giving us a little bit of a solution to that. That the facade of this thriller faux psycho family is there, but they didn't have to add a reading portion to it. They didn't have to add
Yeah, but that was a
learning.
big portion of.
Yeah, that's what I'm
of
saying.
this.
So I think it's important to the reader, to the audience, to know that if you know things, you'll be able to make your life better. Get out of a situation that you're in a rut
Understand
for.
the situation
Understand the
more.
situation.
Be
So
in touch with
those,
your feelings a little bit more.
yeah, so those prostitutes didn't know better. The people who are in a rebel phase, they know better. So the fact is, awareness, information, anything that can add to your knowledge makes you understand yourself and just get out of whatever situation. I think also they don't know it because they haven't processed any feeling, any experience that they have. They're just caught in the moment. They escape through drugs or bad company and whatnot. But I don't know, maybe the symbolism of making him read and read and read to kind of nourish his own brain.
Mm.
And you can only help yourself if you know things.
Mm.
It's a big part of it. Like the woman is such a very cultured, Shakespearean fanatic. They teach their son. They decide he's homeschooled, whatever. But the education part.
But in the movie, are the parents of the two people who abducted him, they're supposed to be bad people? Are they supposed to be psychopaths? Are they supposed to be, because there is an instance wherein they give a really harsh punishment to their own son, which is when they catch him with a box of cigarettes, they make him smoke more of it to a point that he starts like choking and becomes short of breath, those kind of things.
Yeah, I mean, they're objectively, it has been established, they're objectively not good people. So,
But they're good people. I don't know, they're good
It's a
people,
big-
but they are, they take matters in their own hands.
it's a deliberate choice to make them, to either make you want to hate them
Or
or
love them.
side with them.
Yeah.
Because they also had like a very traumatic experience. I don't know, if they lost their son or whatever. And this is also their family's way of coping with that tragedy. So it just messed up their brain. They think this is the solution to that. It's kind of hitting two birds with a stone. Rehab a kid and then get your family back.
Mm.
I don't know. Oh, also, a question. Do you think the subplot of Katrina is too much?
No, I think they're looking for more people as a part of their family. They actually want to do more
Same.
things in the world. I think it's critical because it plays on that race aspect of people coming in from outside and having their own demons to tackle with, and how somebody who's also in that situation initially, when they're having a shitty life themselves,
Mhm.
immediately you start taunting them, go back to your own country. They're completely oblivious to their situation. They can't have any empathy. But the moment he starts becoming secure himself, he starts becoming okay and educated and peaceful and gets rid of all of the anxiety, then he suddenly starts treating her way better as a bit of a human. It's kind of like Maslow's hierarchy of needs. If you're at the bottom of the pyramid, then nothing matters except for survival. And once you start reaching higher echelons of growth, then you start becoming more open and happy, which I don't know if works for everybody. But what do you think about Stephen Graham? Like, he's been doing such crazy work, no? Like, he was amazing in Adolescence. He's great in this movie. He has another movie in which he's the chef or something like that, which we have to watch. In fact, maybe we can watch it today or something like that. That's good.
But he made 1,000 blows, which isn't like.
Well, he's like a wrestler or something in that. Do you know what's another movie that he's in that I just realized now?
Mm-hmm.
He's in a movie called Snatch.
Oh yeah, with
Brad Pitt,
Brad Pitt.
and what's the bald guy's name? Jason Statham. And he's just one of the detectives or something like that.
What
And
else is he in? What's his
just
most?
Huh?
What's his most prominent role?
I don't know.
What do people most know
Is
him
he in Bruges? No. Whatever. Yeah. So all in all,
Good movie. Really, really good. Wait,
Yeah.
let's do my thumbs up. Let's do my thumbs up.
love it, love it, love it.
Okay. We were.
Okay.
You like the fact that we were actually starting Good Boy, and then I realized I didn't want to watch this Good Boy. I want to watch the other Good Boy. Okay, baby, good job.